Grand Rising, happy Monday. Manifesting Mondays and Get Nourished Thursdays every single Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. I'm here with anyone who wants to join, and we're talking about, today's going to be about gratitude and understanding gratitude. Because it's such an easy concept, but I think it's difficult for many of us, including myself, for a long period of time in my life. Hi, someone is, Yoga Joe is freezing somewhere. This cold weather is, now I can affirm that and say that it's not my friend, or I can say it's going to get warm soon. I could say either of those things. Yes, we're going to talk about gratitude today, especially gratitude through loss. That is a big one. All I keep seeing everywhere is lots of death, lots of people dying, lots of tragic things happening. American Sheriff, if you guys follow him, his son and grandson or daughter, one of his grandchildren, were tragically killed in a car accident yesterday or the day before. And someone, I think it was his wife, possibly wrote a beautiful long Instagram post, and the girlfriend or wife was in the car, and she is in, I think, critical condition, but she wrote a beautiful post about it. And it's, even in the worst of times, it's so important to see what good there is in the situation, even no matter how bad it is. And losing Christine, you guys, most of you know that I worked for Christine. Losing her a few weeks back has forced me to be in the state of gratitude rather than in the state of loss. And yes, does the loss catch up with you in moments? Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you look at it from a perspective of how grateful I was, or my sister was, to have spent so much time with such a remarkable and special human being, things shift a little bit. So instead of when something bad happens to you, or a continuation of bad things happen to you, how can you shift from, why is this happening? I have the worst luck. All the negative self-talk, to gratitude. I'm so thankful for what this is teaching me. I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he had a really long drive, like 14-hour drive. So I'm talking on the phone to him, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it, Dad, you know, with your back and all this stuff, because if I sit for 2 hours or something like that, like, my back doesn't feel the best. Let's just say that. So he said, well, I found like the best therapist, and she helps my body feel so much better. And my dad he went to a rental car place, and he was in one of those big box vans, was renting it, turned out of the lot, gets smashed by a car of the brakes that weren't working on the other car. So this car hits him right on the side, tumbles 3 times. My father did not have his seatbelt on. This van tumbled 3 times. Somehow he got out of this van, and he started to have back and stuff, neck stuff, like a couple days later. But he walked out of this van and then found this therapist. Now, my dad's been in chronic pain for 40, probably 50 years of his life, and never really took care of it that much. Only when he was in dire pain would he then go and get adjusted, you know, or whatever. And this is when his back was out and there was already like so much pain. So he said to me, well, I found this woman and she really helped me, and like, I feel great driving. Like, I feel really good. So I was like, wow, maybe you got into this accident so that you can find this person that could help you with your chronic pain, because had he not gotten into that accident, he would have never found this woman who actually lives like a block from where he is. So can you find gratitude in the really hard situations in life? What is it that you are taking away from this situation? So when it comes to loss and losing someone to death, how can you make that shift absolutely mourn and grieve, yes. But how can you make the shift to find gratitude in a time of loss or in a time of misfortune? So I'm reading from the book, The Last Law of Attraction, book you'll ever need to read. It's a good book. It's a really good book. It's a very easy read. So we're going to go from chapter 9, which is signaling the universe through gratitude. Universal purpose, yes. When people first learn about the law of attraction and the immense power of their thoughts, their first question is often about how to communicate with the universe in a way that will guarantee they attract good things instead of bad ones. I think most people want good things, but there are many that don't know how to shift out of that negativity because it comes on so fast every single day. It's an automatic thought. So you're like, how the hell could I possibly stop this negative self-talk that's just literally on a loop in my mind? No one really thinks that it's even an option to be able to change that. This is the way my mind works, and that's just the way that it is. But don't even have the understanding that the correlation between your outside world and your inside world are completely connected. When I talk about your thoughts create. So if every one of us knew that our thoughts create, would you be more mindful of the thoughts that you are allowing yourself to have? You have to reframe your mind. You have to reframe your mind. One of the more difficult things that you'll probably ever have to do, but we can all do it with persistence and with repetition. Those old thoughts, those old patterns are constantly going to come up all the time. But as long as you replace those thoughts with a more positive one, things are going to start to shift into your favor. So the best answer for accomplishing this always comes down to gratitude. If the only new habit you ever added to your life was gratitude, you already have everything you need to begin to manifest the life that you love. Thinking about the things you're grateful for each and every day is one of the most powerful practices you could ever do. And if you could only just stop worrying about what isn't here yet and start appreciating what is, everything in your life will turn around and improve. So if you knew that to be true, that even if the things that you want are not here yet, can you stop focusing on that part and then being thankful for what you do have? The smallest things. I'm so grateful that I can afford to pack my children lunch. I'm so grateful that I've created a lovely home for myself. Whatever it is, there are things that we can all be grateful for, no matter how bad our situation is. You could always step back and be grateful for something, because that is what is going to shift your reality. If you stay stuck in the reality of my life is shitty, bad things always happen to me, why is this happening? Look, this dark cloud's always following me. And you affirm these bad things. Only bad things can come of that. Nothing else. Nothing else can come of that. So there are times when you're doing this gratitude practice and all of a sudden your life starts to shift and more things start to come to you that you do want. And then all of a sudden something bad happens. You're like, see, I knew this was too good to be true. The reality in that is your thoughts create. So there's somewhere along the line that was a thought that was impressioned in your mind. So it can only play out in your 3D reality. So if your life is completely shifting and you're on your way to shifting your life into a life of gratitude, or you are consciously thinking and consciously using your time to manifest things, all of your old story has to play out somewhere. It has to play. Just like I always talk about the film of your life. If you are constantly filming in your mind what your life looks like, even if it's bad things, it has to play out because it's already on the film. You're pressing play, and then you're watching the movie of your life in your three-dimensional reality. So if things are going good for you and there's still something bad that happens, that doesn't mean this doesn't work. That doesn't mean, see, my life is shitty, I have such bad luck. It means that somewhere in your consciousness you still believe that thought to be true. You still believe that bad things are going to happen to you, or this is too good to be true. And when you do affirm those things in your mind, it's going to prove to you, yeah, you know what? It is too good to be true. So I'm going to give you what you're thinking, what resonates with you. When people say, oh, you just have to shift your vibration. And it's like, okay, well, are you going to explain how that happens? Because there's so many things with information everywhere that says, oh, you just have to raise your vibration. Yeah, no shit. But how do we do that? How do we shift our vibration from always being in a state of misery, from always being in a state of pain or worry or anxiety? Oh, just raise your vibration. It doesn't work like that. What are the steps that you can take? And one of them is gratitude, or one of the best ones is gratitude. Write down the things that you're grateful for. Take a couple of minutes to think about why you're grateful for those things or how they make you feel. If you list 3 things in your life that you're grateful for, just 3, top 3. Oh my God, I'm so grateful that I got to move to California. You think about that. What great memories you had there. You automatically shift from being in a state of negativity to a grateful mindset. Second one, oh my God, I'm so grateful for the day that my child was born. And you rethink that and you rethink that. You shift from a state of lack to a state of abundance and gratitude. Every time you say, I'm grateful for that, or I appreciate that, or I really like that, you're moving your energy and creating space for more of what you like to be pulled in towards you. Our thoughts are magnetic. So if you pay attention to your thoughts, instead of just allowing your thoughts to run you, because that's your subconscious mind, that's your supercomputer. If you allow your supercomputer to just run on autopilot, I can guarantee you're not going to get the life that you want. And the reason being is, I talk about this, 95% of your day is run by your subconscious. So your supercomputer is on all day, just running different programs, whether you like it or you don't. And you do have a choice in the matter on that. 70% of what is programmed in your subconscious is negative. So if 95% of your day is run by your subconscious mind and 70% of that shit is negative, if you don't actively try to reprogram your thoughts, that 70% of negativity is always going to be that reminder in your head. You can't afford that. Who do you think you are? You'll never get that girl. You'll never have that guy. He'll never love you. You always are, you're never chosen. They always cheat on you. You'll never get that job. There's plenty of people that are more qualified than you are. So if you allow that 70% of negativity to run 95% of your day, guess what's going to happen? Until you actively change it. So when you actively change it and you start with gratitude, which is super easy, write down 3 friggin' things that you're grateful for and think about those things. Whenever you start to feel negative, go to your list and just think about, take a couple of minutes to think about what it is that you're grateful for. Then you trick your mind into believing that you're living in a more of a state of gratitude instead of that negative mindset, instead of that mindset that tells you you're not good enough, that tells you you have no friends, that tells you you're going to get fired from your job. All the negative self-talk is on autopilot because that is what's programmed in your supercomputer. You can't have others run your computer. You run the computer. And that's the truth too. Like when you're trying to manifest things and maybe you tell somebody about it and you say like, yeah, I want to open this business and blah, blah, blah. And that person's like, how are you ever going to afford that? Like, where do you think you're going to get the money for that? And then they give you that negative self-talk. And then that impressions you and you're like, well, maybe that is like unrealistic. Like maybe I'm just being like, maybe I just, it's just like, it'll only just be a dream. So there are other people that can run your computer by impressioning you with the negative talk. And that's the negative self-talk that you are trying to rid yourself of. So that's why a lot of times with manifesting, they say, just don't tell anybody what you're manifesting because other people's energy are then impressed with yours. Unless you have like a friend that does manifestations, like, oh my God, you could totally do it. Close your eyes every day. See yourself in your business. See yourself with the person that you want to marry. That's different. But if you have a lot of people around you, family, friends, spouses, boyfriend, girlfriend, that are very negative, don't tell them your shit. They're only going to affirm to you what your subconscious is already probably telling you. You'll never have that. All the negative things, because in your reality, you don't have it because you're coming from a lack mentality. So if you're talking to another person that has a lack mentality, they're going to just continue to affirm what you already think. Then you're going to listen to them. You'll be like, yeah, they're probably right. Like, I could never do that. I could never have that. Vision boards. I used to do vision boards until I realized, like, and they work for some people. So I'm not like against them. Like, I used to do them, but for whatever reason, like, they just didn't work for me because I wasn't around it enough to see it. So I like put stuff on my phone. The background of my phone is saying on my screen when I open it, like stuff like that, so that I'm constantly reminded of it. But I also like to do meditation stuff. So every night that I go to sleep, I listen to Reprogramming Your Subconscious Mind audios as I sleep. My phone is in the bathroom, like more than 6 feet away from me, but I play it, and it's either binaural beats or it's affirmations that run for like 8-hour loops that just completely repeat. Our subconscious mind is running 24/7. It's a computer that does not shut off. So you can use your time while you're sleeping. You're just sleeping. Use that time to reprogram your computer, and your subconscious is constantly listening to the affirmations. I have the most amazing life. I absolutely love my house. I now am living in my dream home, and whatever. There's affirmations for all different things. If you want to manifest money, love, whatever it is, jobs, this, that. Megan says, I do the same thing, change my life. And if you don't have active time during your day, if you literally put it on at night and just let it run, your mind is listening to that. Your supercomputer is taking that in. Someone said, I am beautiful. So if someone has self-esteem issues, things like that, there are affirmation tapes that can run all night long. I am beautiful. I am so magnetic. Every single person that I meet loves me. Whatever it is. There's even apps that you can record your own voice and then it'll play it on a loop the whole night. And it has like really nice music, binaural beats, or different frequency music playing in the background. So every second spent in gratitude is also a moment spent drawing whatever you want towards you rather than inviting what you don't want instead. More than most any other positive emotion out there, gratitude is the key to truly manifesting your desires because of the message that feeling automatically broadcasts to the universe. You could be having the shittiest day, and maybe you happen to see a person on the street that's freezing and they're homeless, and maybe you go and give them money, and you see the look on their face, how grateful they are for this small amount of money that's going to help them to maybe buy something, buy food that will warm them up, or you give them money to get a hotel room, and you have that instant feeling of gratitude. And then you say, thank you, I'm so grateful that I have a home to go home to. I'm so grateful for the people that are in my life that do love me, and that I'm not by myself. There's a million different things that you can feel grateful for, and that will automatically shift your reality. You see, when you simply wish for something, you're actually pushing it away from you. This is because the act of wishing only reaffirms energetically that you don't have it, which then instantly instructs the universe to keep it away from you. Gratitude, on the other hand, affirms the state of being which you desire has already been given to you. So wishing for something, oh my God, I wish that I had this beautiful home to go home to. Maybe you live in a really just not nice place that is not really safe. It's a very safe neighborhood, unsafe neighborhood. And you wish, like, oh, I wish that I could have this. Or, wow, look at that couple. Look how happy they are. I wish I had that. That all comes from a state of lack. That comes from a state of not having. So if the universe or God is your waitress at your restaurant of life, and you say, I wish I had this, your waitress is going to say, I'll give you more of not having that because that's what you're ordering. But if you say, I am so grateful for the amazing life that I have. I'd really love some more of the amazing life that I have. Thank you. Your waitress is going to come back and say, here you go. Here's more of your amazing life. So I hope that makes sense. Your wish is my command. That is from your waitress of the universe. Your wish is my command. So if you're only coming from a place of, you tell your waitress, I'm in pain every single day. You know what? I've been sick for the last 20 years. And your waitress says, okay, I'll be right back with your order. Here's more sickness. Here's more I don't have. Here's more I am ill. It really is that simple, but we make it a lot more complicated than it really needs to be. If you constantly focus on what you don't have, your waitress of the world and the universe in your life is going to just bring you more of what you don't have. You're asking for that. You're affirming that I don't have it. I don't have this. I really hate my life. I'm so lonely. Like I'm always by myself. Having a pity party. So the universe can only give you more of that. Instead of, I'm so grateful for the person that I just met in the coffee shop. I absolutely love going to the gym and seeing people, and we have great conversation. Every one of us has something that we can be grateful for. If the only thing you did every day was feel grateful more often than you feel negative emotion at all, everything in your life would improve. Your health, your finances, your relationships, everything. If the only thing you did every day was feel more grateful than negativity, okay? So let's just clarify that. If I practice gratitude more than I allow those negative thoughts in my mind, you begin to make the shift. Say your entire body was an empty glass, and every day you fill your glass with your negative bullshit. Your negative bullshit is up to here, right? You're comfortable in your negativity. You expect negativity. Your life is negative. You don't even realize that you constantly do this to yourself. And then one day you come across a book and it says, if you really feel like shit every day and you really want to feel better, all you have to do is be grateful for something. All you have to do is be more grateful for that one thing than allowing all the negativity that's filled up to here to run your show. So each day you start to fill your empty glass, or your glass that's up to here rather. So there's this much more that needs to be filled. And I start to fill it with gratitude. And I start to fill it with more gratitude. And then I start to fill it with more gratitude. Eventually your cup is going to start to overflow. But as of right now, there is much more negativity that I have to get rid of than gratitude, right? So if I continue to fill my cup more with gratitude and things that I'm grateful for, all of a sudden other things that I'm grateful for are going to start showing up. So I'm going to continue to fill my cup that's overflowing. And all of the bullshit negativity that's on the bottom is going to overflow. It's going to overflow. It's going to overflow. But you continue to fill your cup with more things that you're grateful for. More things that you're grateful for start to show up into your reality. So then you start to fill up that cup with more grateful things than negative things. And that's how you truly shift out of that mindset, out of that mental diet. Right now in my life, because I'm so into this, I often almost feel repelled from people that do not have a good self-concept. Or within a minute, I know where the person is in their life. From the minute I meet someone, I know if this person has a good relationship with money, has a good relationship with themselves, and has a good relationship with others just from the way they talk. I met someone in a store yesterday, and this woman does amazing work, but she was so negative. I'm like, holy shit. Like, she was so worried about all this money that she put into something. She was so worried about this, so worried about that. It's like, how do you expect to have a successful life and business when all you talk about is how worried you are about the money that you spent on something that is going to be helping people? How can that outcome be a good one unless you start to reshift your focus and continue to pour gratitude in your glass? Overflow all the things that are no longer going to resonate with you, because once you start to talk about things that you're grateful for, other random things are just going to happen to you. Someone's going to pass by you on the street and say, you look amazing today. And that changes your whole day. And you're like, wow, I'm so grateful for that person. They totally just changed my whole trajectory of my day. Or if you're walking down the street somewhere and you drop something and you don't know that you dropped something, someone runs down 2 blocks to give it to you and say, here, you dropped this a couple blocks back. Wow, I'm so grateful for this person. Random things are going to start to happen to you that are going to shift from your old story of, I don't have enough. I'll never be able to have this. I've never been happy in my life. How could I just possibly be happy? Everything is going to start to shift. So it's actually really easy. It's hard at the same time when you've constantly had negative mindset on a loop your whole life, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. The best part is that once you have a little practice under your belt, feeling genuine gratitude for even the smallest things, it becomes very easy in your life and enjoyable to do it. And before you know it, you're manifesting things you've waited years for. This is why gratitude is so powerful, and it's why it's one of the best things to have in your life each and every single day. I'm very blue today. I just realized that. And since feeling gratitude is such a simple, easy, and enjoyable thing to do, there's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be a daily part of your life. So once you start to add these things in and you implement gratitude as a part of your day, everything's going to start to shift. From the second that you get up. I'm so grateful for my toothbrush. It makes my mouth feel clean inside. It could literally be anything. It could be the smallest thing. The smallest thing. I'm so grateful that my back is feeling better today. Instead of, my back is killing me, I didn't sleep all night. I'm so grateful that once I start moving my body, my back actually starts to feel better. Instead of, your back's going to hurt for the rest of your life. Get over it. Your back's been hurting since you were 14 years old, and it's always going to hurt. I could say that. Or I could say, I'm so grateful that once I start doing yoga, once I start moving my body, my back actually feels better. Which one do you want to run your life? We all have the choice. That's the brilliant thing. We literally all have the choice to choose. Am I going to sit here and complain about my shit all day long and only create more of it? Or am I going to step back and say, my life is great. There's things that could be so much worse. So I'm grateful for how great it actually is right now. Even if it isn't, there are other things that are. There are other things that are. The key to feeling gratitude, how to actually do it. Gratitude is a core human emotion that's very easy to access. There's no trick to it. If you're worried for any reason that you're not doing it right, that might just be another case of the ego doing its best to keep things the way that they are. And a lot of people do that. Oh, I'm probably not doing this right, so I'm just not even going to try. Well, if I was doing it right, things would happen already. We get things so instantaneously, from our cell phones to Amazon to everything. We can literally ask for something and instantly we receive it. Oh, well, this will be delivered today between 2 and 6, where before you had to wait a week or two for something to be delivered to you. We get everything so instant, so that when something doesn't happen instantly, we get frustrated with it and we just throw it to the side. This doesn't work. Oh, this doesn't work. Do you think after being negative for most of your existence, that after being grateful for the couch that you're sitting on for 5 minutes is going to shift your entire life? Just be realistic. For example, the stem cell regeneration patches that I talk about all the time. There are some people that after wearing it for one day, oh, this doesn't work. I've done that in my life with products, especially when it comes to pain relief and things like that. And it didn't help. Oh, this doesn't work. Let me ask a question. How long have you had these health challenges for? Some people 20, 30 years, some people 10 years, some people 2 months, some people 5 years. Me, since I was 14. If you think that it's realistic that wearing something for one day is going to be a game changer. And it is for some people. Some people do get instant relief. Other people it takes weeks for. But if that is the way you operate in everything in your life, that everything that I try or want to do has to happen instantly in order for me to believe in it, you are never going to have the life that you want. Because say that you have all the money in the world and you want to start a business and you're just like, here's all my money, I want this business open right now. Is the reality that you're going to have the place to rent that you want, the building, all of your stuff is going to be built inside, and your business is open? No, you have to take like 1,000 steps before that. You have to get a business license. You have to find a perfect location. You have to decorate it. You have to find employees. You have to do everything in steps. So for whatever reason, most people, unfortunately, are very unrealistic. When I talk to people about this, is changing your mindset. It doesn't all happen day one. Well, I was grateful today and nothing happened to me. That's also coming from a state of lack. Well, I did this and nothing happened. You're coming from a state of lack. You can't manifest abundance from a state of awareness of not having. So, recognize that everything happens in steps. You don't go from step 1 to step 70 just because you want it to happen. Your body doesn't heal in 5 minutes because you say so. Well, someone told me if I think positively, then it's all going to change. You are being unrealistic. Everything in our life and in this game of life takes time, takes practice, takes repetition. I'm going to open my business. It's open tomorrow. Okay, well, good luck with that, because I've never heard of anybody opening a business in 24 hours. We are so conditioned to have everything instantly that when something actually takes work and effort, that's too much for us to do. That doesn't work. I tried it for 3 days. It didn't work. So many people are unsuccessful because they try something for a while, and no matter how many times it doesn't work, they get to the very end, and the next step is their success, and they quit on that last step. Oh, this doesn't work. Again, I'll go back to the patches because this guy fascinates me. He has 120 some patents, this man. The X39 is called the X39. It took him X for 10 years and 39 tries to get it right. If he would have stopped on the 38th try, he would never have a billion dollar product. So it just goes to show you that the effort that you put in does not go unnoticed. As long as, when this comes to mindset and mentality, you are not being overridden by your old programming. You can do a beautiful meditation, then after the meditation, your subconscious mind is like, now you know you can't afford that, you'll never be able to have that. So if that does happen, which it will, you automatically cancel that out with something that you're grateful for. It doesn't even have to be the thing that you are wanting to manifest. It could be something completely different. I'm so grateful when my dog came into my life. Whatever it is, get into that state of gratitude so that you can get rid of the negative self-talk. Because the more you cancel it out, it's like Neville Goddard calls it the old man. The old man will never die unless you replace him with all of these new thoughts. So we don't want to talk about killing the old man, but that's essentially what we want to do. It's essentially what we want to do. An easy method for experiencing gratitude is to think of something you have right now that you don't want to lose. So that's good. Think of something you have right now that you don't want to lose. I bet you are grateful for that. I bet you are grateful for that. And whatever it is, think of the reasons why you want to keep it. Whatever those reasons are, it's simple to consider them without also feeling appreciation for the thing that you're thinking about. You're brought directly into a state of gratitude because you're now recognizing why these things are so valuable to you, why you want them, and therefore why you're so grateful to have them. And it's as simple as that. What are the reasons why you don't want to lose X, Y, and Z? What does that bring you? Say that you're in the process of your house is being foreclosed on. What are all the things that you're grateful for? How can you shift that? What inspired action can you take to help you be able to keep this house? Who can you ask for if maybe you can get a personal loan? Take the inspired action. Why do you not want to lose this house? I have so many amazing memories. Go into your mind's eye and think about those amazing memories that you have in this space. Think about all the happy times. Think about why you love this space. Things can happen instantaneously. Things can happen over time where it's like, I don't know how this happened, but I no longer have foreclosure on my house. My house is no longer being foreclosed on. And it's you going into that mindset, going into that space, taking inspired action. I'm going to go to the bank today and see if I can get a loan. You just take the step and take the leap of faith. Can't think of anything off the top of your head? How about your paycheck, the clothes you're wearing, the roof over your head, the food you eat, your ability to read this book, a pleasant memory that brings a smile to your face? Wait, what happened? Wait, I don't know if I skipped a page. Okay. I don't know if I just skipped a page or what happened. Okay, I did. Let's see. The last time someone did a favor for you. The last time you laughed out loud. Your bed that keeps you warm. Your amazing heart that literally beats nonstop to distribute nutrients to other vital organs in the body. There's so much to be grateful for. For example, it might seem difficult to appreciate where you're living if you dislike your neighbors. But that roof and those walls still keep you warm in the winter, cool in the summer, and dry every time it rains. And no matter how much you think you might like your job, you might not like your job or your boss, that paycheck you're getting is still the reason that you get to eat every day. So you have all these things that maybe you don't like. Maybe you're not happy at your job. Maybe you hate your job. But is there something that I can still find great to be grateful for in that? I hate the way my life is going right now, but I do still have a job that makes me money. I do still have a really beautiful home. I do still have an amazing partner that makes me smile even when I am in the worst mood. No matter how bad we have it, there are still things that we can be grateful for. Okay, we're just going to do the stacking method and then we'll conclude. The gratitude stacking method for manifesting your dreams is as simple and direct as they come. It's also a great exercise to do if you don't have a lot of time. So step 1, write out a list of things you're grateful for. Step 2, read through each item on your list. Step 3, as you're reading them one at a time, take 20 to 60 seconds, however long you prefer, to really feel the gratitude of whatever you're describing. One of my things that I'm most grateful for was being able to perform for so many years of my life. Whenever I was on stage, I was the most alive. So if any time I want to go back to that feeling, like I literally just go to the moments where I was looked over and can see any one of my closest friends dancing their heart out, having so much fun, and I could just look over and see how happy they were. Because they were in the same element that I was. They were so happy to be able to perform. And even though I had high hamstring tears, even though I gave myself whiplash several times a week, even though when I would leave my job, I could barely walk because I was in so much pain, even though every morning after I danced, I could barely lift my head off of the pillow and get out of bed, even though all of those negative things came along with what I was most grateful for, which is to be a performer and to have that feeling of, it was a sense of power, empowerment, inspiration to other people. Because when we performed, we did a lot of burlesque type stuff and all kinds of different things. And people would just look at us and like our costumes and how beautiful they were. And it was always so much fun. Euphoria. That's it. That's it. Euphoria. Even though I had all these other negative things that came along with one of my greatest memories, I never allowed that to make me stop doing it. I spoke on the phone with my dad yesterday. I'm telling him like about my latest back pain and stuff like that. He's like, well, you need to stop doing all these things that cause you pain. If you go to yoga and you're in pain, you need to stop. And I was like, that's not going to happen. There is a part of movement, physical movement for me, that gives me something that is greater than the amount of pain that I feel. So if that makes me feel so amazing, but it also brings negative things, I'm still grateful for it. So that's why what I'm saying is, no matter how dire some situations can be, there's always things and ways to look at things that you can be grateful for the situation, or grateful that you had the time with the person that you did, especially with breakups. There's so much devastation, loss, grief when it comes to losing a person. But what are the main lessons that it taught you? How can you be grateful for that experience, even though you're feeling so much pain and devastation? I wish I would have had this mindset a couple years ago. But I had the experiences that I did in order to learn so many of the things that I learned. How do you change your mind when you are sad for somebody? Exactly what I'm talking about. We have to be really honest with ourselves. Most times people part ways because there is an energetic misalignment. For whatever reason, you're not aligned with this person. For whether it was your mindset that's saying, say you have a great relationship and every single day you're like, I don't deserve this person. This person's going to eventually cheat on me. This person's going to leave me, because your abandonment issues run you. So eventually you are going to manifest that. So it depends on your situation. If you know that you're the reason that you manifested the reality that you are now living in, all you have to do is change that. Change your mindset. So if you want to do it through gratitude, I'm so grateful for every single day I was with this person. He or she taught me so much. We had the most amazing times. When you constantly dwell in missing them, when you constantly dwell in how unhappy you are and how lonely you are, you're coming from a state of lack. So again, if you're sad over someone, allow yourself a couple minutes of the day to be sad about somebody, but replace it with all the great lessons that you learned. How much you learned about love. All of the good parts of it. When you dwell on the bad things and the missing and the loneliness, you're only going to get more of that from the universe. They can only give you what you align with. So if you're in alignment and in bed every day and crying and missing, grief is one thing that you can grieve somebody. But if you continue to allow yourself that cycle to continue every single day, you can't possibly manifest the opposite of that. If you're living in a state of lack and sadness, you can't manifest happiness from that space. So hopefully that answered that question. So again, you just asked me how can you something about, what was it? I forgot already. Yes, Merry Christmas. It's almost Christmas. I can't believe it. Where was that? Hold on, I'm just trying to see. It's crazy you do yoga and still have back pain. I can explain to you why. Oh, how do you change your mind when you are sad for somebody? So this stacking method, write out what you're grateful for. And it doesn't even have to be about the person. Read each item on your list. Take a minute, take 5 minutes to think about each thing. Think about how happy you can be in situations that have nothing to do with the person that you were with. You were, give or take. Imagine your life before you even met the person. You had happy times. You had amazing times before that. Go into those states of being. They exist. They exist. And the more that you recreate them in your mind, the more that you're going to create them in your reality, because it's just the way that it goes. Really quick, I'll answer the question about yoga. I don't know how you have pain when you do yoga. I danced when I was 3 to, I don't even know, like 30 some years I danced. And I've had chronic pain with my back, low back, since I was 13 or 14 years old. I never knew what a chiropractor was back then or any of these things. So my whole spine I don't know, is it supposed to be a C curve or an S curve? Whichever way the curve is supposed to be on a normal spine, mine is facing in the opposite direction. So since I've been going to a chiropractor, they've been trying to realign my spine so that my neck, this part, pushes forward. My upper back right now goes concave like this instead of coming out like this. So my upper neck is supposed to go like this. My upper back is supposed to have that curve there. It's the opposite direction. So when I'm constantly doing up dogs, I'm still forcing my body into a direction that it's not supposed to go in. So that's why I have chronic pain, because the shape of my back is in the opposite direction. So if I'm doing anything that's arching the back and all these things, it's only pushing my body into a direction that it's not really supposed to go in. So that's why I have so much pain. I never had full rotation of my neck. I could never do this. I still it pinches when I get back, but it has gotten so much better. I couldn't go past here. If I tried to go back here, like, it would just be ridiculous pain. So I'm still working with my chiropractor weekly. So that's why I have back pain. And I went so again, like, that could be the example of people just giving up. Well, I went to the chiropractor 3 times and it didn't do anything. I could have said that. I literally, it was a 6-month program, I think. 2 or 3 times a week I was going for 6 straight months. By the end of that, I felt so much better. So I was like, oh, I don't even need to go anymore. So I was only going once a month when he told me I need to go twice. And before I knew it, my body was slowly starting to go back to where it's not supposed to. It's like when you wear braces and you're supposed to wear the retainer afterwards, and you're like, I'm not wearing the retainer. My teeth are straight. All of a sudden, your teeth start to shift to where they're not supposed to be. It's the same thing. So I did craniosacral before. I haven't done it in a really long time. So that is the conclusion of today, talking about gratitude. So when I take a yoga class, I always say, like, oh my God, thank you so much that I could take this class. Even though I'm in pain afterwards, I still have high hamstring tears on both of my legs. I mean, it's ridiculous, but I always say, like, oh my God, thank you so much that I was able to take this class. Even though I'm in pain, I could easily sit home and be like, I wish I could go to class. Like, I'm just in too much pain. Like, I could easily do that. Any one of us could easily just give up and just say, this just doesn't work for me. And just, I'm always going to feel sick. And like, I always have headaches. Or you can find the solution. You can be grateful for what you can do. I found so many healing modalities because I refuse to give up. I look for everything and I find it. CMOS, all these things that I've found in my life that have helped me significantly, I looked for them. I could have given up and just said, yeah, well, you danced a lot of years, so now you should just give it up and just become a fat, out of shape slob. I could have did that, but I didn't. I'm active every single day, and that's a choice. I'm in pain every single day. That's a choice to be in that pain. But it's also a choice to look for the solutions to help with the pain. Like the CMOS that gives me all my minerals that I need. The patches, they found me. I manifested them somehow. They've helped with my pain significantly. All of these things. If you want to give up, you're just going to give up and you're just going to sit around and waste away because you have all these excuses of why you can't do it. Instead of finding all the reasons of why you can do it. Because the answers for everything that we are looking for are right out there in the world. You just have to go out and get them and find them. I'm going to try craniosacral again. I really haven't done craniosacral in probably like 15 years. So I would like to try that again because it's been obviously like a really long time. Energy healing, so significant, like has shifted me tremendously. And this was with Robert. I did sessions with him and it was just like, holy hell, like this is what I've been missing out on. Wow. So thank you guys for listening. I'll post this if you guys want to rewatch it or share it. I know I'm all blue today. Oh, also guys, last night I was talking about my retreat and Joe Yee says, you don't promote this retreat enough. I never hear you talking about it. And that's the truth. It's hard to ask people for things or I don't know. It's just, it's always been very difficult for me to ask for things. You can get the patches in Canada. Yes. Send me a DM. They were having issues with it, but I'm going to ask Gary if that's been resolved or not. So the retreat is going to be talking about manifestation. It's going to be talking about how to heal your emotions. It's going to be talking about soul connections and relationships. It's going to talk about quantum healing. It's going to talk about the world and the way forward and how to do certain things moving forward. It's going to talk about plasma therapy. It's going to talk about body transformation with plant-based Ben. So we have a lot of amazing speakers that are going to be there. Right now, through December 31st, the original price is, the full price is $3,990. I know it's steep. Right now, the sale price is $1,760 for your beautiful hotel, for organic food, and for the retreat. So that comes down to like $352 a day. 5 days, $1,760 for the retreat. I'm going to put the information in the caption when I post this. And you can also use the ticket sale as a tax write-off, because I am a functioning nonprofit now. So you can write off your ticket price that you paid as a tax deduction, which is super exciting. Okay. There are payment plans, but there's only payment plans for the full price, not for the sale, because it is so insanely cheap. You can't find a retreat anywhere for $300 and some a day that includes organic food, hotel, and the retreat. So thank you guys for listening. And I'll see you this week, because I'll be on a lot talking about the retreat, and I will be reposting it. So share if you'd like. Have an amazing day.